Yes, sir.
Yo, 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 coming to you a little different today, folks. It is actually a Wednesday evening, not a Sunday morning. We're going to talk a couple of things. We know we got to dive into little Jimmy Butler talk and a few other things. But as always, I'm your boy Prime's. Source was good.
What's happening, bro? Just chilling out here on the deck, enjoying the weather while
I
I
see,
can. You know,
see you
we
out there
haven't.
like Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, you know how I do. We haven't had a 90-degree day yet. I think this is the longest time in some amount of years. I forgot what he said, but it's been a minute since we've gotten this far into a year and not had a 90-degree day. I like it.
It's not. I mean, it's not hard to believe though, because we really haven't had. It's really not been the heat out there like talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I ain't mad. I ain't mad.
Can't can't be mad. Can't
I
be
mean,
mad.
it's been a couple of times I almost went out for a nice little walk around here. I ain't really.
Me too.
I made it to the
Include
car, but I didn't
including
walk.
yesterday.
And you know, I live in a really walkable area. There's
Right.
people walking all day. I mean, like there's people walking at 5:30 in the morning with dogs, without dogs. They get up. Oh, very matter. There's people walking down right there. But yeah, I think I made it out to the car to get some waters out the trunk, and
Yeah,
I can't
people.
go back in. Matter of fact,
People.
let me tell you how crazy it is. I made it out one time to get a bottle of water out of the trunk that I was going to take with me on the walk. But
Ooh,
what ended up happening was I just grabbed a bunch of waters to bring in and walked back in. Never went back out.
came back in the house. He's like, that'd be a good idea. However, I'm not mad
that's
at
just
you.
how that, that's
I'm
how
not
that
mad
went
at
down, man. That is how that went down. But it's a process, man. It's how I got back, started going back to the gym after slacking. So even though I didn't get there today, I ain't even gonna front, bro. The Arby's roast beef sandwich won. I had to make a choice. The roast beef combo won, and
you. You
and
fought the
I
beef.
was
That's
set up from failure from the start because it was this comic book I wanted to get in. The Arby's was in the pocket, is in the parking lot of the comic book shop.
right.
So it's supposed to be from the comic book shop to Gold's Gym. We were from the comic book shop to Arby's. That's how it went down, bro.
Dang, homie. In high school, you was the main homie. What the happened to you?
Hey, appreciate everybody checking us out. No doubt. My brother Zach, what's up, my man? Larry, what's good? What's good? Appreciate everybody that's checking us out on the Facebook group, the SBP, and wherever you watching, whether it's on YouTube. Appreciate you checking us out on Twitter, checking us out. But yeah, this is our first time getting together. We're a couple of nights removed from the NBA Finals. And of course, we know who won. We know Jokic was great. We know everything that went down. Everybody played well. But the talk of the group, and of course, now I find even more so in other social media because it was whether or not Jimmy Butler choked. And I put the comment out there in the group. I just knew I was trying to start something, but I put the comment out there in the group right at the end of the game. Sparked some conversation. Sparked some conversation. Then I decided the next day to put a poll up, and there's various opinions on whether or not Jimmy Butler choked. And let's maybe be clear. I'm talking in the final 30 seconds of this game. And that's what the real talk is because I saw a lot of responses. Folks were there talking about, well, they're not supposed to be here and all this. That. So I had to clarify. I'm talking about the final 30 seconds of this game. I'm not talking about them choking and not winning the series, anything like that. And you had some pretty good thoughts on it, respectful thoughts at that. We'll go ahead and run back with your thoughts on whether or not Jimmy Butler choked in the final 30 seconds of Game 5.
I think it's egregious to say that Jimmy Butler choked. I think that is. I feel like if you didn't say it, I'd feel more like this. But you said it, and you're logical. So, but I feel like the same people that can't differentiate between somebody being great and then them being decent, and instead of saying that they're decent, they say they're trash. I feel like the same people that jump from if you're not great, you're trash, are the same people that jump from if you didn't make the play and something happened, you choked.
Okay.
It's not that simple. It's not that simple in my opinion. Choking, one, something has to happen that's kind of out of the ordinary. Example, and I wish I have thought of this example a couple times, but I wish I had looked up who the players were. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Georgetown, UNC in the finals, right?
Okay.
The pass to can't remember who it was, but for UNC, the pass to UNC from Georgetown. If somebody wants to say that he choked, the Georgetown player choked in that moment because he passed the ball to the other team in a crucial moment, and the pressure got to him. That's what it seemed like. The pressure got to him.
Mm-hmm.
I can rock with that. Neil O'Donnell throwing the ball to Larry Brown. That's a choke. There was no receiver even in the vicinity.
Okay.
To me, that's a choke. The moment got too big, and he did something that he normally wouldn't do. And my what was my main example that I used the other day?
You were talking about, I think, Nick Anderson.
Nick, yes, sir. Nick Anderson, that is the epitome of choking. Nick Anderson was a decent free throw shooter. If I remember, he was like 80%. I'm not 100% sure,
I
but
don't think so. I don't think so.
he wasn't a terrible free throw shooter. Like he wasn't 50%. Let's
He's a career 66, I think, shooter. Now, not to cut you off, but real quick, now to get you context to that is that the end of next year, well, the next season, he only shot like 40-some% for the season.
yeah, his whole career was choked
Yeah.
away.
Yeah,
But in the moment,
Mhm.
bro missed 4 in a row.
Mhm.
Right? 4 free throws in a row that could have sealed the deal. That's a choke. That is a choke. 4 free throws in a row.
Indeed.
That's a choke. Um, Jimmy Butler turning the ball over. Although I wish he would have shot it the first time he went to the bucket and he pivoted back out and tried to pass it out. I wish he would have shot it. I think he made a mistake. I mean, it's clear that he made a mistake. He made a mistake not going to the bucket still. He made a mistake by passing the ball away and it being picked off by a defender. The turnover was a mistake. I don't know if the 3-pointer was a mistake because he was on. So I don't know if that was. I take it back. I don't want to say it wasn't a mistake. It's a mistake in hindsight because he missed a shot. But if he had made the shot, same with the season before. If he had made the three after scoring so many buckets in the last few minutes, nobody says anything because it wouldn't have been a surprise. He was on. He was getting buckets at that point. So him missing that three was not a choke. That's not a choke. That's just a well, some of us would call it a bad decision. It's a missed shot and a turnover. And even if you go back to the season before, I think we had this conversation that after that joint,
Mm-hmm.
he shot the three. People like he should have went to the bad. He could have done 100 million different things. If he scored 7 times straight, I don't remember the number of times he scored, but if he scored 7 times straight, and he chooses to shoot a pull up three, what? How are you? You can't argue it. You can't argue it because he's the one that scored the 7 before that. So what are you arguing? I don't know. But either way, I don't see that as being a choke at all. I just see it as being two plays that went the wrong way, bad choices maybe, but a choke that's far from choking in my opinion.
Well, like I mentioned, you and I definitely disagree. And a couple of things you said that made me think about. So one, me personally, I don't care how many points you scored in a row. And he had a fabulous, but he hit 4 straight buckets at one time, I think. Whatever. He was on a nice roll. He was on a nice roll before all of this transpired. But even though he played well and he was on that roll and he was the reason they were in position, I still think when it got to those final 30 seconds, no matter how great of a game it had, you can score 40 points, in my opinion, and still choke. Right. And you did mention that the fact you think he got nervous, what a lot of times when people choke, it's because they get nervous. If you look at him during the course of that, and I hate
Oh,
picking
you
on
said
Jimmy.
you said I said you said I said he said he got nervous.
Well, you kind of mentioned right now he may have gotten nervous, or someone might have gotten nervous. You just mentioned that.
I said that. You sure?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, my thing is this. If you watch the play, not only, of course, we know he throws the ball away, but when they showed him, because when I watch it again, he looked nervous. And a lot of us have been in this position before. Game on the line, you got to make a play. You get the ball in your hands, and you got to do something with it. In their case, the season was over. Not only did he turn the ball over, he looked nervous. Okay, we can excuse anyone for making a nervous decision or a bad play. And I don't want to discredit Denver. Let me say that because as me and one of my guys were talking at work, Denver was playing some nullified defense. So I mean, let's be real about that. But then he comes back down, came this close to turning the ball over again. Nervous. This close to turning the ball over again. Then if you triple that with the shot that he took, it's just too much for it happened in a short span for me to say that he did not choke, is what I'm saying. I might can excuse the one play. And then again, I don't know if I could excuse the one play because granted, sometimes it's all about who it is. Because you and I both know everybody that's defending Jimmy, let that have been LeBron James on one play. One play. And I know this conversation is going to go after this. They would have vehemently be saying that is a choke. Now, the reason being because LeBron James is in the argument for the GOAT discussion. Because I totally disagree that a player has to be even a superstar to choke.
I agree with that.
They do not have to be a superstar. And we've
Correct.
had this conversation. Billions, you and I have talked about superstars, and you saw in the group, everybody came out defending Jimmy. No, because he's not a superstar. They got nothing to do with choking.
Correct. I agree with that.
But yeah, I'm just saying. He did. My thing is he did too much in a short period of time for me to excuse it as not being choking. That's all I'm saying. I debate with somebody if it was just the one play. There were three things that happened within that 30-second span. He was just coming apart for whatever reason.
Now you adding in a third thing. You saying an almost turnover is part of his choke.
Well, look at what the turnover was because he had just thrown the ball away and he was this close to throwing it away again. You go back and watch the play even before we got to the shot is what I'm saying. When that much stuff happens in a short period of time, he unraveled, and that's not for me to pick on Jimmy. It's just what I see, as we'll see as we get to some of the comments, in a minute with some of the things that the SBP was putting in there about the reasons for it. I think a lot of the comments were valid. I just don't know if they excuse the fact that that we shouldn't quantify it as choking, because I do feel that it had been other players, we would have definitely said it was choking.
So I disagree on the LeBron. If it was LeBron, everybody would say it was choking. I don't know what other people would say. I wouldn't say it was choking. I'd say the same thing I'm saying about this, regardless of who it was.
Right.
If they had just did whatever in the game, and then they turned the ball over, I feel like it's a stretch to say it's choking. But I definitely agree with what you're saying about it being a star and all that. That don't have anything to do with anything. What's your man Charles, Mr. Layup, Knicks?
Oh man, let me bring up old stuff now.
Charles
Smith.
I started to put it in the comments.
Smith.
But I left it alone. But yeah, choking moment.
That's definitely debatable. To me, I call it a choke, but I think I would have a little more problem if it was the fact if he missed it. No, I don't know. It's probably a choke. That's bad memories right there.
See, I ain't put it in right. I just said it. Over. You ain't got to see it no more.
Yeah. And that's just my thing. It's just too much for me. And I know a lot of people rushed initially because they were thinking about I was talking about just the fact that they didn't win it. They won't. I never had them winning it anyway. You know what I'm saying? This is no hate. And then somebody I think put it out there. I think it might have been saying it because they beat the Knicks. I give a darn. All right. It is. That's over with. It's got nothing to do with that. That was a choke. But if we want to really touch on this, the superstar aspect, which a lot of people came to his defense, right? I think he has to own it. And I don't know if it was Dorian Bryan or someone in the group did mention, they say, well, look, he did mess up, he did do this, and I think he will own it. I think it might have been Dorian. If not, it was someone else. I have no doubt that Jimmy Butler will own it. He's one player, I have no doubt. This is the same guy I posted that is out here saying that he ain't pressed about the Hall of Fame and make sure he's dead serious about it. Jimmy just won the ball. But this is my thing. What is his nickname?
Which one? Playoff Jimmy?
Got Playoff Jimmy?
Hemi?
Hemi Buckets. Right? Hemi Buckets. How did you get those names? You are superstar or not, you are their guy. Right? You are their guy. They're not here without you. So you have to take ownership no matter if you were tired, whatever situation, but you have to take ownership of what happened, right? And if he is your guy, it ain't about missing a shot. It's about the shot that was taken and the plays before that. To me, I think they qualify as choking. If they would have if he doesn't throw the ball away and they lose, I'm not calling him a choker. If he doesn't pull that shot when he didn't have to, after he'd already thrown the ball away, I'm probably not calling them a choker. They just lost. They were playing a better team anyway. But for me, too much happened in that short period of time, back to back situations. To me, yeah, he was choking.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal.
Yeah. The man up, bro. Did we talk about a guy? What he had 30-point games in the playoffs, 40-point games in the playoffs. He laid 56 on the number one team in the East. What are we talking about? When that series was over, all the talk was about him and buckets, but about what he about to do to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? And even though he didn't totally go off against the Knicks, it was Duncan Robinson and Strus. He still made timely buckets in every series towards the end through the playoffs, pretty much. Timely buckets. He gets to this point and it doesn't happen. Okay. But the mistakes that he made trying to make it happen, yeah, Rob, I think he choked. And that's just what it is. He got to own it, and I don't think he has a problem on it. Jimmy stand up.
And I think he'd own it too. And I think he would say, he might even say, I choke. Mm-hmm. That's as him owning it. I think he might even go to as far as to say that, even though it's not true. And he might know it. He might know it's not true, but he can't halfway. I ain't. It wasn't me. I ain't true. He can oversell it when it's him taking the blame. He's not blaming somebody else and saying they choke. You can oversell it when you put it on yourself, but in reality, nah, man, nah.
So put the poll up. We got 77 people to vote on the poll.
Okay.
All right. 57% says Jimmy choked. 33% said he did not choke. 1% said he gets a pass because he scored 21. And I just threw that up there because people was talking about points. And the other 9%, no, because he isn't a superstar.
Yeah, irrelevant. Irrelevant.
Look, we don't agree on the choking aspect. We agree on that part at least.
Yeah, that's silly. What? That's silly. I don't even feel that's really worth discussing for real. Like that's why would that make a difference? Why would you only be able to choke if you're a star? You only choke if you're a star. That makes no sense.
No sense.
That lets everybody else off the hook. No matter what they do, they can never choke. Only the star can choke. But that's the same silliness where people blame one person or, you know, praise one person for everything that happens in a game, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever. They want to say that the one person is the only reason that anything happened, as if other people didn't have to do anything. They just rode his back completely. Now Jimmy was the guy, is the guy in Miami. That's clear and true, and everything goes how Jimmy goes. But it's not like other people weren't involved in the trip, like you just mentioned, Duncan Robinson, Struess, um, light skinned Drake. You know, everybody did their thing at some point in time. Even Bam, even though Bam didn't play well in some point at some points, even Bam did his thing throughout the playoffs. But yeah, it all falls on Jimmy. It all falls on Jimmy. I can't I don't know. 57%. That's crazy.
Yeah, so we got 77 votes. 57% said he did choke. Um, now, some of the stuff that the people put in the group, so their reasoning, right? Uh, my guy Patrick McIntosh, no choke. They were down 3-1 on a limited oxygen. He ran out of air and energy. Respect, Patrick, but my thing with that is I do agree, and I saw that several times, and I do think he ran out of fumes as well. That could have contributed to what happened. I still don't feel that we will be giving other folks a pass, and we gotta get too deep into that. But other folks
Oh,
a
you
pass if
saying
that was the same exact scenario.
you saying it's a pass? How's it a pass if you just don't think it's a choke?
Yeah,
It's not a pass. That I
mm-hmm.
mean, just yeah. Go ahead.
um, Troy Dawson said Jimmy Buckerson choke doesn't belong in the same sentence. Everybody can choke, man. I mean, so, but I get it. If you're saying it because that's not normally what happens with him, I get it. Okay, I get that part, and I would agree for the most part because we've seen them come through so many times at the end of games, even when he hadn't played, not playing well. You know what I'm saying? So, um, my man Richard Washington says his back hurt from carrying that team. Hopefully, he's a Philly guy. We
Right.
sent him Joel Embiid, and they give us the draft picks in the same neighborhood of the Frenchman. So my man Richard watches. So Richard to take him. So is he good? All right, my man DB Dorian Bryant. He's one of his coaches. Choke might not be the exact term, but what else could we say? Jimmy didn't get it done. A very poor last 2 minutes or so. The greats like MJ, Kobe, they thrived in those moments. Denver left the door open. Jimmy should have kicked it wide open. Can't want to be great, have to just do it. Spo definitely doesn't get a pass. He was out coached, especially in the last 14 seconds. This isn't street ball.
Ain't nothing for me to say to that. Ain't nothing for me to say to that.
Don just said he can't speak on it. He fell asleep somewhere during the third period. That's my guy right there.
Missed it. Missed it.
Rashawn Collins. Jimmy made a bad decision / play. Curry has done the same. Even if they won that game, they would have won two. They would not have won two more in a row. Respect, but got to do with the fact that
Yeah, that ain't really relevant to the conversation.
Let's see a couple of more in here. Terrence Strong, costly turnover in clutch time, and forcing up that contested three with 16 seconds on the clock constitutes a choke, in my humble opinion. This one right here, and I know you guys talked about it yesterday and you disagreed with Andre Carlin. He choked with that ill-advised late three he jacked up last year as well.
Stop right there. Ill-advised 3 equals a choke. Huh? That makes no sense. But go on. Go on.
Well, the reason I'm saying it because I'm commentating it now, but he's talking about last year as well. So I guess it speaks more to the fact of, I guess he has a history of doing it. I mean, he's done it before.
So he's a choke artist, is what you're saying. That's what you're saying. You're saying Jimmy.
I was reading what he said.
The man is saying Jimmy Butler is a choke artist. Y'all hear this stuff? Yeah. Okay. All right.
And he continues to say, playoff Jimmy Buckets is 100% not a superstar and just doesn't deserve the flowers everybody wants to continuously drape over him. I said what I said.
That don't make it logical.
Let me see. Now I do. Now again, I will say this. I agree with him on this part right here. On another post when you and he were talking, he says pretty much states that he was second team All BA, as it was alluded to in the thread. On the squad, he does make a poor decision, along with the lack of execution with the game and the series on the line. And I think it was him or somebody else said something too, and somewhere in this thread about being second team player, and LeBron made third team.
Irrelevant.
But I think what a lot of people are saying, that even if we want to say he's a superstar or not, because again, that was the big defense of him not being a superstar, right? You can't take being second team and being the team's guy lightly. Second team All NBA. So
that's crazy. That's crazy to me. That whole all of that comment was crazy. So, what can I say? What can I say?
And I don't think he on this joint, but I'll also let y'all know, don't listen to nothing William Keys talking about. William Keys don't make no sense of nothing he said about the joint. So, William Keys had in the post. Keys said in the post. Keys said the game was lost in the first 3 quarters.
When Miami was up.
And I'm sitting there like, wasn't this still a game at some point in this fourth period? I'm like, okay, I thought we think it was football season, and the Dolphins, the Dolphins was up, at the time 35-3. Something like, what I'm saying? He says that the game was
choke. That was a joke.
3 quarters.
Dog.
Keys choked with that comment.
Speaking of comments, I see Tan Strong said on the big stage he doesn't get it done. 0-2. Dog, he was not supposed to win either of them, right?
Good point.
So what?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Y'all, see, I hate talking about Jordan and LeBron. I hate it because it's a wasted conversation most of the time. Every championship Michael Jordan won, the Bulls were the better team in the series. Would you agree or disagree?
Was a better team?
Yeah, the Bulls were the better team in the series. Yeah. The Bulls were better than the team they were playing in the championship. Mm-hmm. By that logic, you've never seen Michael Jordan on the big stage as the underdog. So why do you praise him so much? How can you praise him? You never saw him as an underdog. He never beat anybody that he wasn't supposed to beat on the big stage. See where your logic is not logicking? Y'all just be saying anything, man. That's why I stay out the comments half the time. This is why I stay out the comments half the time, because y'all be saying anything and trying to make
eat popcorn.
Huh?
I just eat popcorn.
People just be saying, dog, they say anything and think that it's supposed to, like, this moment is the moment where this is logical. Yet it doesn't apply to other moments. If you can't apply it across the board, or at least some of the time, how you just gonna bring it up out the blue? Jimmy Butler, there was the 8th seed. They was the 8th seed. They was the 8th dog. They was the 8th seed. He didn't get it done in the big. So the same way LeBron has been in finals with the team that wasn't supposed to win and didn't win. He's garbage because he didn't win the finals. He might have dragged the team to the finals, but nope. Forget all that other stuff. He didn't win it, so it don't matter. Woo! Apologist logic. Suns were the
That's
better
Terrence again.
team, and Bucks beat them. Suns were the better team, and Bucks beat them. Tell me about your belief in the Suns and where it comes from. Because when did the Suns win a championship? Wait, when were the Suns good enough to get to the championship prior to this one that you're talking about? Oh, oh, you mean they lost to the Bucks? Okay, okay. Heat was better team, and the Mavs beat them.
Mm.
What does that even mean? What is the point of that statement? What is the point of that statement? Like, what are you defending? We're talking individuals. What are you saying? Oh, you're saying that LeBron lost to a team when he was on a better team. I agree. I 100% agree. The Heat should have beat the Mavericks. Agreed. Not sure how that goes into the Jimmy Butler conversation, but okay, we agree on that. Who was that? Terrence.
That was Terrence again.
Yeah.
That was again. So, like I say, to be clear, Terrence, for me or anybody else listening, I'm talking. I'm not talking about. I know some of the folks brought up stuff about last year and all that stuff. Me, I was talking about personally the last 30 seconds a couple of nights ago in Game 5. Not so much on what the Heat accomplished this season, which was great. I mean, I know about 6 and 8 seeds and all that making runs. I'm a Knicks fan. We got that lucky to at least make a run to get to the championship. Being a Dutch, so I understand and respect that. My whole thing is not so much what the Heat did accomplish. It was just so much about him choking in that last 30 seconds or so of Game 5. So in your opinion, man. So we pretty much stated how we feel on this. Where do you think he go from here? What do they need to go from
The
here?
Heat.
Yeah, looking at the off season.
I don't know what the Heat gonna do, bro. I have no clue. Honestly, no idea what the Heat would even do. Do you bring in an old point? Like you already got an older point guard. How you feel about Gabe? Do you love Gabe? Are you happy with Gabe?
And I believe he's a free agent. I think.
Are you trying to get another scorer in there besides Jimmy? Somebody that you can actually trust to be a leading scorer or a secondary scorer
Hey,
on a reg-
the talk this morning. Was it either Windhorse or Wolf? But the Dame talks been reignited with them.
really?
Mm-hmm.
That I only find that interesting. I mean, I just don't find that interesting as a as a move. Of course,
Well,
it makes sense.
I think the logic is for them is they're thinking reliable points. I guess you know.
Well, Dame is gonna get you them buckets definitely. And then what does Jimmy become when he's not the primary focus?
Very good point. Very good point. Um, I also saw something not too long before we got on here. I know they were talking to Woj, and they said as well as Bam played in spots in the playoff, they said he's somebody to watch when they're trying to make a move to bring somebody else in. Or the possibilities um, that a lot of teams will be interested in Bam Adebayo uh,
Agreed.
in a trade practice, whether it meant two teams or Miami trying to make something happen with a third team. It'd be an attractive package.
No doubt. No doubt. Bam would be highly sought after, I would think, as well. But I think in a lot of cases, you take Bam out of there, and then what? Like what are you replacing him with? What are you replacing him with? I don't. You got somebody that doesn't necessarily need the ball all the time. You feel
Right.
like you need another scorer, so why would you? I mean, value wise, it's always an option, but why would you? Why would you gladly give away a big man that does the dirty work for the most part, as if he's not valuable? But maybe he's
Indeed.
so valuable that they might just give him away. So who knows?
Indeed. Nuggets are odds-on favorite to run it back, and they
Yeah.
are in prime position coming back next year. You got pretty much, they got to make a decision on Bruce Brown. I think he's a free. They want to bring him back, which I would think that they would want to bring him back. I guess it depends on how that money is because
Bruce gonna be like this.
Yeah, I think Murray becomes eligible for an extension, and whether they want to go ahead and execute that next year. He ain't going anywhere.
Yep.
Joker on lock, Gordon on lock, and Pope is on lock. Porter's on lock for these next couple of years. So they set, to go ahead and try to run this thing back. So teams will definitely have to make moves to try to compete with that. A team that was already good before they made the championship run this year.
They were good when people were hurt. They were good when people were not playing. And they win a championship when everybody's healthy and they coming back. Come on, man.
Yeah, so you talking about a team in prime position. Even though folks aren't celebrating it, like everybody's been making all these analogies on how they feel about this championship game. I forgot Chris said somebody felt the same way when Spurs when I don't know, but just
hey, listen. What we're not doing is using Chris commentary for any reason regarding the sports. That man don't even care about sports. Don't pay him no attention. He just here to annoy people and say stuff that's off the wall.
I just seen Chris and a couple of other joints that not even sports groups. And I laugh at some of the comments.
That's who he is.
Chris is off the chain.
He is not faking it. That is who he is.
Man, they might need a backup center and a power forward with size.
That's not a bad thought. A backup center for real. A backup big man that can get you some minutes, and then you throw Bam beside him in situations where you need another big man out there. Yeah.
Indeed. I got one other basketball thing, but I wanted to at least get this comment in based on what you and I were talking about, what I was talking about before we started. I just wanted to get this quick comment in because I want to feel bad for our people's Gina. Said all the Arby's around her neck of the woods and closed down. You're a valuable member to this group. If you need us to email you a couple of beef and cheddars, some curly fries, we got your back. So I didn't close them, all of them. Great day.
Hey, listen. The real question. Let's keep it a buck. I ain't gonna lie. I used to go to Arby's a lot, but who was keeping Arby's in business at those prices, yo? Arby's has always been ridiculous on the prices, and yet, you still roll up in there. I would anyway. I used to go in that joint on a regular basis, but I don't know that everybody went to Arby's and paid them prices.
Hey man, let me tell you something. I used to tell everybody that before you go to Arby's, you gotta call your financial people and borrow against your 401k. You get a combo up in that piece. Now, I came out smoking today. I don't know how it happened. I did hear the lady say something about she hit a coupon button for $4 off. Shocked me. I thought she ranked something. I forgot to put something on there because I got a roast beef combo, 4 nuggets. I ain't paid but like $11. How? I don't know. I need to go to the car and find my receipt. It's not like I'm gonna take it back and tell them I owe them some money or nothing. But I'm like,
no.
Arby? She mumbled something about it. Oh no. She mumbled something about I hit a coupon something. So maybe it was some type of special going on, but I just don't get that, bro.
You got to take the receipt back. So next time when your price is $17.91, be like, but what about this? I spent $11 the other day. See if it worked. I don't know.
You got to worry about that. We talked about Dame real quick. Somebody said Dame don't play defense. Got you. We got Arby's was only good with the rotisserie chicken.
Bro, the rotisserie chicken was bum, and the broccoli was bum too. Rotisserie chicken was crazy though.
Unpopular opinion right here. Terrence says the curly fries, and they got the best tenders. I don't like the curly fries.
I don't like them either.
Nah, I don't. And
I used to eat them.
I was glad that most of the Arby's around the way brought back the crinkle cut. Not that they got the greatest crinkle cuts either, but I can eat them.
Right.
I ain't down with them curly fries, brother. I don't think you can have them. There was a time I used to go to the joints. Oh, we only carry the curly joint. Dang, man, I'm slipping. The
Now
market print sandwich is clutch too, though.
the tenders. Now I'm not mad at you. And
But
that
that's
honey
like,
mustard. The honey mustard is bomb. The honey
yes,
mustard is bomb.
they got this new hot spicy joint too now, but now it's like a regular sauce. But yeah, man, you make me about to run back up there. I'm getting hungry. Look,
Number
the
two.
family let me go up there without bringing food back though. I be there spent when they got 3 combos, been spent $65. But
Yeah, you got a couple of
anyway,
steaks for that.
hey, so real quick, so what you think about all this? This Bradley Beal news. That came up today, and the word is now if the Wizards were looking to scrap everything and start from the bottom once again, that Beal, who has a no trade clause in his contract, is open to working with the team to possibly find a good trade solution.
Prime, I am not big on the 3 words that I'm about to say. You know, because we all get it right, we all get it wrong every once in a while. It happens. But man, y'all was in the comments when Bradley Beal signed that deal. Y'all was in the comments, oh, he gonna be a loser forever, or he ain't gonna never get out of there. And I told y'all that man will be there for a year or two, and he's getting out. He's getting out. They're not gonna keep him around and spend that money. They're gonna get him out of there. So he was able to get the best of both worlds. Get all the bread, suffer through another season or two, and get to a better team. It's chess, yo. It's chess.
Ain't checkers, right?
It's not checkers. Checkers is I got to get out of here right now. I'm gonna
I
take
got to
this
go.
4 year rather than a 5 year. Take less money and then go wherever. Nah, you can ride it out. Just ride it out. Get all the bread, and then go ahead and get somewhere better.
So I think I saw some very good conversation, and some we'll probably get deep into at some point because this will probably just drag on. But I saw some conversation about might be a good fit. Some Philly might want to think about, especially if they don't end up bringing Harden back. There is something, and of course there is the Knicks situation, and because it was actually reported today that the
Oh, I'm
Knicks
not laughing at
actually
you.
did entertain the idea. They entertained the idea of trying to bring him in this past summer, or see what it would take. So they did talk to them about it already, so that could actually resurface. And this is the key thing. And I've been seeing this from Woj, and I've been seeing this from Windhorse. With that no trade clause and the way it is structured, it's not one of those situations where a team would definitely have to scrap everything, because Bill is going to actually have some say in the whole deal. And he's not going to want to go to a team you can completely gut just to bring him over, right? So it'll
Yes.
probably take, it's a good possibility, unless one team just wants to go all in and they talk good and still convince him to come. It's not likely that he's just going to go to any team if it means I got to take a big plug out of everything, and then what does that leave us?
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So.
But I wasn't laughing at the Knicks thing. I was laughing at Terrence. He said Checkers got some bomb fries too. Speaking of Checkers.
I don't think I even ate at Checkers. Did I? I did when we was in Atlanta.
And I was about to say, in life, you never ate at Checkers? Okay.
No. I tried. I told you. I think you and I had a conversation years ago when I went to Atlanta, and the 2 places that I ate at that I had never eaten before. There was a Carl's Jr. in there, and there was a Checkers. The hotel we stayed in was connected to this. I guess they call it. Y'all people have been to Atlanta or live in Georgia.
Across from the Bicentennial Joint.
Well, no, this is it's off of Peach Street. We were in the business hotel joint, and the hotel is connected to what they call Peachtree Station. It's a couple of those shops in there, and it's a little corridor connected to the hotel. You ain't got to leave the hotel to go to it. The door, you walk right out of the hotel lobby, open the door, walk down a little hall, it takes you right into this joint. It looks like a food court. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the CNN center.
CNN no. Peach Street. So interesting enough. I know you got a thing or two you want to throw in. I just want to give a quick shout out to for the woman, Aaliyah Boston. I don't know if you've been paying attention. I put a comment out on one of my Twitter pages yesterday, and people was agreeing. She may be the best number one we've seen in quite some time. Because she is doing work for, and that, trust me, like they trust her as the option. I
She is.
watched her last night go 23, 14, and 6, bro. And that's the first time in WNBA history in a game that a number one pick has led both teams in all three categories in the same game.
That's dope. That's
Putting in
dope to
work.
see. That's dope to see. I know Kelsey Mitchell, like, finally some help. Y'all, Kelsey Mitchell been the one on that squad, and they've been terrible for years.
Yeah.
So now she got some help. So I hope she is appreciating it and not like, I need more shots. So
Indeed. Shout out to Leah Boston. I can't believe I'm saying this. You know, I love the women's game anyway, but I'm looking for the next Indiana game.
yeah.
So, yeah, she putting in the work and looks comfortable. That's what's crazy. Looks comfortable. Down low with people on her. You feel me? And she just putting that thing in there. So shout out to Aaliyah Boston. Indeed. What else we got, man? What's something you want to talk about was put in the group?
Did I? I don't know. I forgot.
I know it was hip hop post, right?
Well, first thing I want to say is if y'all ain't doing nothing Friday afternoon, 5:30 p.m. on TikTok, doing a Mary J. Blige versus. I haven't said who it's against yet, and that's been the question: who can match up with Mary J. Blige in a versus? 20 songs, 20 joints. Who can match up with Mary J. Blige? So I'm putting that out there. Y'all can comment if you have a thought. But yeah, and the hip hop joint. What was that? I forgot, Brian.
Somebody, you said put in the group was a post about for the first time.
Yeah, 30 years. So in the last 30 years, right now, 2023 is the first time we've gotten this far into a year without a hip hop album or song being number one. Neither. No hip hop album has been number one. No hip hop song has been number one. And it's been 30 years since that has happened. The question has been, why? I think there's a multitude of good answers, but do you have any opinion as what's going on? What's up with hip hop?
Well, I'm not gonna be a hater and team get off my lawn because I know the comment thing. Well, look what they putting on the radio. I mean, look what it is. It ain't, you know. And I told you before, it's very little hip hop that comes on the radio now that I can stand and listen to. But I do not disrespect a majority of these artists because it's let them have their time.
Right.
I ain't gotta listen to it. It's just like we talk about all the time when people getting in comments, just complaining and crying about everything, right? And it's like, why just let it go? I don't have to listen to it if I don't like it.
That's right.
Now I'm not shutting off all hip hop. You know, there's some people that put out albums in the past couple of years that that I consistently listen to. I mean, I'm J. Cole. I'm with it. I've been very public about not liking Kodak Black, but I'm not. But Kodak Black does have 2 or 3 songs. I ain't gonna lie, that might be kind of fire. I'm just not a fan of him as a whole. But why there's not been one number one, I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't have. I would really have to really think about that because I can easily say, or somebody's going to say, of course. Well, look who's out now. But some of them same people had number one albums a year or two ago. So I don't know. That's crazy.
I did see one. Like I got tagged in a bunch of, like, this has been a topic for a couple of days, and I keep getting tagged in videos about it. And one of the joints, somebody pointed out the fact that the biggest artists haven't put out work thus far this year. And I said that's a fair. That
kind of ran through my mind when you first brought it up, and I was like, that could be.
Yeah, because if you look back, I mean, last year you had, everybody came out last year. Old school and new, old and new, everybody came out last year, pretty much. So, there's that. One of the homies said that Um, Not even about the quality of music. Well, I take that back. Somebody said it was the quality of music. I'm sure multiple people said it was the quality of music. Um, Somebody said that it's not. There's no more regional music.
Mm-hmm.
So you, for instance, my daughter and I, Jada, and I were talking about drill music for the last 2 nights,
Got you.
trying to decipher the difference between UK drill and like New York drill, Chicago drill,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it sounds similar. It sounds similar.
True indeed.
Then you got rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Then you got somebody like Pop Smoke who is from New York, but he sounds like a UK artist.
Right.
So it's not like you're getting New York to rock with New York or it's a regional sound because he's reaching to the UK, whether that's for good or for bad, or he was, excuse me, reaching to the UK, whether that's for good or for bad, and making music that way. I'm not mad at that idea either because you need your regional artists. You need your Scarface or your whomever from the South that everybody rides with. But my thinking is that everything sounds similar. So
Yes.
if it's regional or not, if it's New York, if it's Cali, if it's Chicago, down south, everything sounds similar. So how can you grasp on heavily to one artist if there's 12 other artists who sound very similar to the one artist? So are you really rocking with the one artist? Are you rocking with the sound? Do you just spread yourself thin with how much you like each of those artists? Nobody has a fan base. And one last thing, nobody has a fan base as much based on their quality of music as opposed to their personality. Social media, which I love, obviously, we're on social media right now, but social media is so heavily into the music and who's popular, who's not, that personalities, you can have a great personality and become popular. But if your music ain't on a level, then that popularity is gonna be it's not gonna reach here.
Right.
Because regardless, at the end of the day, it is about the music when it comes to listening to the music. It is about the music. So you can rock with somebody's personality and support them, but it's not like everybody's just gonna rock with somebody because of their personality. You still gotta have the music quality to go with it. It's a million reasons. It's a million reasons.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I think I like the the thought about the one. I give it to you about the music sounds similar. The only thing with that, unless people are just getting tired of it, because in my opinion, the last few years the music been sounding the same. It just the matter might be a different voice. You know what I'm saying? But same concept, a lot of the same beats. You know, but I would definitely go with that. You know, some of the bigger artists that we're expecting to get those albums from at least didn't
Right.
really put out music this year. And then to be fair, if we're talking about the charts, there's been a wave of I guess R&B that's just been crazy. Like one person in particular, what's the girl, SZA. Like SZA is like on fire again. Like she's like it's crazy. So and more people listen to more R&B, but I do like that. I do like that whole deal about the people not putting out albums this year or haven't put them out yet. So
Yeah. I think it was Charlemagne that actually said that. It might have been Charlemagne that said that.
indeed, indeed. Got one more comment here. In the current era of rap, the lack of individuality doesn't allow for any standouts. You're speaking gospel right now, bro. Yeah, I agree with
One last thing on that. Appreciate it. One last thing on that point right there. The lack is is it actually on purpose? Is the lack of individuality on purpose? The reason I say that is because AI, whether we like it or not, whether we want it or not, it is in the mix. So if everything sounds similar and you're okay with it sounding similar and being throwing AI in the mix, how much different is it going to be? It's going to sound similar to the other stuff that sounds similar.
Yeah, great point. And I don't, as far as being those individuals, man, I don't think they care. I think a lot of the artists today don't care. Makes me think about what was it a couple of years ago, maybe last year. What's the rapper name with all the stuff in his Lil Yachty?
Got it.
Yeah, Yachty made. Is he still Lil? He just Yachty there. I don't know.
No, he love y'all.
He still Lil Yachty. Okay. Well, I remember him making a comment that he don't give a darn about uh what does he say? He don't give a darn about lyrics. You know,
Feel. It's a
complex
vibe.
lyrics and
Right.
vibes the whole nine. And he said something else he really didn't care about. And he didn't really say it so much in the way he was dissing. Somebody asked him a question and he just started talking. And I do remember, I don't know if he's still Lil Dirk or Dirk made a similar comment. Um, so I just think they just want to get out here and do what they do and do what they feel. And I don't think a lot of today's artists really care about being different, you know, or sounding different. You know, they go in, it's the beat okay, all right, throw one little small thing different on it. I'm gonna rap about it, you know, and that's their thing. Let them have it.
Yeah, and that's it right there.
Yeah,
Let the music that comes out today from a 21, 22-year old was not made for us. It ain't made for us. We ain't. Not that we can't like it, but it's not just us. It's not just us saying this. This is lots of people saying this. Is across the
lots of
board.
hip hop artists that we listen to from back in the 80s and 90s are telling you, you know, telling you, you know, let them do it. When I'm looking at Instagram and I'm on Twitter with a lot of these people, what's crazy is, of course, there are going to be some old school hip hop artists that feel a certain type of
Hey,
way.
yeah, it's gonna be some.
Okay,
Definitely.
that's fine. But the majority of the artists that I follow and I comment with, a lot of them, you see them giving props, willing to do, do a song or meet whatever,
Right.
or at least telling you that's their thing. And that's just how I feel about it. I ain't gotta listen to it, bro. I ain't gotta listen to it. I'm gonna go throw on my, by all means necessary. you
You already know.
show. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna go throw on. I'm gonna go
Me
throw
too.
on the infamous. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna go throw on. Stunts, blunts, and narcotics, whatever. I'm gonna throw on. That's what I'm gonna throw on. I ain't gotta listen to all that. But if they will be a song or two every year, I will not front. Might come out, say, you know what, I'm showing all right. I'm gonna listen. It's got enough of a bop to it.
Right.
That I'm gonna do it, and that's fine. It is great, but let them have it.
Let
Let them
them
have
have.
now.
Don't tear it up though. Don't tear it up.
That might be too late, bro. Yeah, that's all I got. Now, you got anything else?
Oh,
Go
one
ahead.
last time. I got to say, uh, if anybody is interested, I wrote a book. It's short. It's not crazy. Nothing crazy. It's called Short from Source. It's 31 thoughts, poems, and stories from up here. So you feel the vibe and you want to cop one, hit me up. It's $15 shipped to you. Yeah, just send me your address. Hit that Cash App, $ MICSOURCE, Mike Source, and we will get her done ASAP. That's it.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all checking us out. If you're checking us out from other sources, come on over to Facebook, join the group, the SBP. Sports talk is our thing, but hip hop, television, and movies are always in play. Program note: we will not be on this Sunday, Father's Day. Y'all go out there and do your thing. I think we're gonna be doing our thing. Source and I both have families, kids. I got grandkids, but we will not be on this Sunday, but you never know other than that when we might pop up. So we appreciate y'all.
Pull up.
And yeah, when he said, do all that, we catch y'all the next time. Peace.